News 9 special with me, Nabila. Now, it is Women's Day and women have taken this opportunity to come out in honor of each other and also celebrate the achievements of all those who have never been recognized. This brings us to believe that India has indeed come a long way in giving women their due respect. Now, gone are the days when women were considered a burden in the family. Today, a woman's achievements are celebrated. They are looked upon as all-rounders and ones with immense courage. They are now the most dependable source in a family, we could say, and are known to be the only ones possibly to hold on a family together through thick and thin. Women in the urban setup have worked shoulder to shoulder with men to prove that they too can live up to demands as efficiently. They have excelled in every field which is known to be a man's domain. Now, all that said and done, can we proudly say as of today that men and women are treated equally in an urban setup? Are we satisfied with the position that we've been granted, or do you think a little more than that needs to be done? The struggles of a modern Indian woman has already started to spill out, with women trying to live up and fulfill expectations of everyone around them. And News 9 asked the women of Bengaluru to what they thought is the status of today's woman in modern India. Here's what they had to say. Dr. Chytra, you're a celebrated cosmetologist, dermatologist. Yeah, you've been with us even in the past, and we know you're very vocal about what you think. And you tell me today, the question is, in today's modern setup, do you really believe that men and women are treated equally? Even though we claim that, yeah, we have the position that we fought for, and finally we're shoulder to shoulder to men. But is that the fact?
I think you get treated the way you expect to be treated, honestly. And I think yes, I'm not going to say it's equal across. We're the urban women, we're the educated lot, we've broken the glass ceiling, like Aloma said. But I think if you're going to say across India, have we done it? No, not yet. But there's definitely quite a number of them that need to be acknowledged who have done it, who are attempting to do it, which is very important. And you know, I think when you say that women, are they all equal? It starts with a self-belief, like I think one of the speakers earlier spoke about. And I think a lot of times it's the women themselves that do unjust to them by putting themselves down, by not uplifting other women. What I see, I think a difference that can make a big difference is the way women network. It's as simple as that. Like just like something as small as talking to each other and, you know, connecting with each other and using those social skills to help each other. Women don't do that yet. And I think as they adapt, it'll change. It's definitely changing. I'm not saying that we're where we were even 5 years ago. Actually, 3 years ago to now, I can say that there's a huge difference. And I think women as leaders and role models owe it to be those leaders and role models and to help uplift the other women who is not as strong. Not everybody came to life with the same set of skill sets or like the same base, you know, like somebody had a better upbringing or a better education. So I think that person needs to help somebody who's less privileged maybe in those ways, and then it'll help them, because I think it all comes down to your core strength and your core confidence and from your upbringing. Like, you know, like you said, are we acknowledging the men? Yes, we acknowledge our father figures, mother figures, our brothers, you know, our siblings, your teachers. It comes down to how they all treated you from your childhood. If you had somebody, a parent saying, no, you don't do this, let your brother handle it, already you've taken a seat back, right? But if you had a father in that family who says, no, why not? Both of you are equal, you can do whatever you want to do, that itself makes a huge set of difference. So I think it starts from men and women acknowledging it, and I think we owe it to that. Like today, I think our message in my Cosmederma organization to all the women was, we didn't even say Happy Women's Day. We just made a message saying that strong women are women who are secure enough to uplift other women. Find one to help this year.
Find one to help. But I really liked your point that you said that women are treated the way you want to be treated.
Totally.
So let me give you a case study of myself. Okay. So I'm this girl who wants to do everything by myself. I don't take help. But if I want to go buy something, I tell the boys, can you please go buy that for me?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're a boy. You have to go. What the hell? Like, why can't you go get it
See,
for me?
it's a social mental conditioning.
It's the way you want to be treated, and that's how. And then they're like, okay, yeah, she's a girl. You know what? Let her not walk all the way there. Let's go. We'll go and go. And men are really chivalrous. Okay, as as much as we diss them, they're really nice.
True.
And they're really respecting the fact that women need to be placed equal to them. And so they're doing possibly everything to accommodate that suddenly.
Because they've had a lovely Indian mother there who's a mother figure, and they see that she's treated with respect, and they expect the same
Correct.
thing, you know. But then for you, Nabila, I would say that if you say, hey, go get it, then in another quadrant, if they say, hey, you're a girl, you should be able to do it, you can go and say, sorry, I'm not.
Yeah.
You're
I
using
still have to buck up and possibly walk. But otherwise, you know, I want to buy something expensive, and I can't. At workplaces, normally men are possibly paid a little more than women. They're you know, I'm guessing a lot of people complain of that. So then I want something expensive, and I want the man to buy it.
Right. So if you're asking me this question, I think it's great to want to have the guy buy it for you, but it also is a give and take relationship. A relationship is give and take. So if you expect that he's going to buy something for you, then obviously there's going to be an expectation from him in return for that giving. So as long as you're willing to satisfy those needs, there's no problem. But the problem arises when you say, hey, give, but you're not giving, and I'm not willing to give back. That's the problem here. It again comes back, like she said, aggression. I don't think it's about aggression, but it's about making that space and being clear. It really is fundamentally knowing about your needs and your thoughts. And I think it's about finding yourself. And let's face it, in India, our education system, first of all, really sucks. I mean, it doesn't give you a chance to find yourself. You know, you're like a bookish, scholarly person who comes out
we study
without
the same syllabus
Exactly.
that has been repeated for 2 decades.
But
over
you
2 decades.
don't come out like a free-spirited thinking person, and by the time you find yourself, you're in your 30s. And most women, by the time they're in their 30s, are married, and another bunch of them are already having kids and stuff like that. Now you're saying, okay, like I think Vidya here said about you know, her house person who has a problem in her married life and stuff. But, you know, that is a sad state of affair. It affects everybody. But you can still say, okay, that's because she doesn't have all the rest of the support of the society. But what about women in our strata? We all know people, women who are going through the same stuff, where they have their husbands cheating on them, or they have abusive marriages, where they're willing to put up with a lot of things, or they could be the key breadwinner, but they're still willing to put up with a lot of stuff. So what happens then? I mean, it's between closed doors, it's between a man and a woman, etc. But still, there's something fundamentally wrong right there. So I think as long as you don't go back and get your basics right, sitting on the top and saying, hey, this is all great, is not going to work. And yes, there's no harm in expecting a great gift and an expensive gift from the guy. But let's say you got a bonus. Are you going to do something extra special for the man in your life? That's also important.
Yeah, so it's about give and take.
It's a balance.
Okay.
It really
so
is.
Then I'd like to talk about attention. Women dress up for other women sometimes. They want to look better than the other girl. At least
No.
you know there's another.
You know, that's again low self-esteem. Because, you know,
But it's your own friends.
No, you want to dress well.
Okay, my
because
director
you
says
want,
one at a time.
Yeah, you
please.
want to dress
Yeah.
well, you want to look good, and you want to dress according to the occasion and the people you're hanging with. You're not going to dress the same to a work party as you're going to do to a friend's party, or as opposed to like a, let's say, a formal event. So when you say you're dressing for others, well, I think you're not being negative in that. I'll say let's put a positive spin on it. Yes, you dress so that you look good, you feel good, and when people pay compliments and say, hey, you're looking great, it makes you feel great. But you're not dressing because you want to best somebody else.